Hi there, my name's Scott, and I'm going to be talking about prompting procedures, what they are, how they're used, and when to consider either increasing or decreasing the amount of assistance we're providing to a student when they're attempting to complete a new task. So what are prompts? A prompt is a method or tool used to move the learner from incorrect to correct responding when learning a new skill. They may be given prior to the behavior of interest or while the individual is performing the behavior. Prompts serve multiple functions. They are used to increase the rate of responding, decrease the level of frustration, and assist the individual in learning more efficiently. Prompts are used when teaching new skills. However, the type of prompt that's chosen will depend on the individual's current level of experience and success with performing that skill. Here we have a table that represents the array of prompt levels which can be delivered, ranging from the most intrusive to least intrusive cues. As the learner's performance increases over time, we can begin to shift the prompts we're delivering from most to least intrusive, gradually teaching the student to perform the task independently. The following video will provide, in greater detail, a description of each level of the prompt hierarchy and model what these look like in practice.
When working with clients in the field of ABA, many clients require formal teaching of skills. A prompt is an added stimulus that ensures success. Prompts are supplementary antecedent stimuli used to occasion a correct response in the presence of the SD or demand that will eventually control the behavior. So in other words, prompts are paired with the demand to ensure the correct response is evoked from our clients. Over time, these prompts are systematically faded until solely the demand is responsible for evoking the correct behavior. Next, we're going to talk about the prompt hierarchy for a physical expectation moving from most to least. First, the most intrusive prompt used is the full physical prompt. This is like a hand-over-hand prompt where you're physically helping the client complete the behavior. Moving down with the prompt hierarchy is a partial physical prompt, and this is where you're just partially helping the client complete the behavior. This might be touching the wrist or the elbow of the client. Moving down from there is the model prompt. This is where you're modeling the correct behavior. And last, moving down from there is the gestural prompt, and this is where you might just gesture towards the correct behavior, such as gesturing at the client's hands. Next, we're going to discuss the prompt hierarchy for a vocal expectation moving most to least. The most intrusive prompt used for a vocal expectation is the full verbal prompt. And this is where you're telling the client exactly what you want the client to repeat. Moving down from there is the initial verbal prompt, and this is where you are just partially telling the client, and then the client will finish the correct behavior. And then last will be independent. In this example, the therapist Lauren uses a full physical prompt to assist her client in touching the animals. She then moves down the prompt hierarchy to a partial physical prompt, and then last she ends on a model prompt to assist her client. In this example, the therapist Lauren is modeling the two-step motor imitation for her client. In this example, the therapist Allie uses a full verbal prompt to assist her client.
Show me clapping. You drive, eh?
Tom.
What is this? Sloth.
Sloth.
What is it?
Sloth.
High five. How many? Head, shoulders. Show me pat belly. What is it?
Sloth.
Good job, James. It is a sloth. High five. Let's go to the playground.
In this example, the client is independent.
What's this?
A car.
It is a car. Here you go.
In conclusion, prompts are added stimuli that are paired with a teaching instruction to evoke the correct behavior. Over time, they are systematically faded to increase independence.
All right. So, the following are additional examples of how prompting is used in everyday life. Verbal prompting, you tell your child that it's time to go to the dentist, and you tell them to put their shoes on. You're giving them the verbal prompt to put their shoes on so you can go to the dentist. Gestural prompting, you are teaching your child how to identify the letter A, and you point to A. Modeling, you show your child how to buckle a seatbelt, and then you ask them to do it. Partial physical prompting, you are helping your child brush his or her teeth by providing elbow assistance, just light physical on the elbow. And full physical prompting, you are helping your child brush his or her teeth by providing hand-over-hand assistance, full physical prompting to complete the task. Lastly, it's important to note that learners may develop prompt dependency over time, wherein the student may wait for a cue before engaging in the behavior. For this reason, as the student becomes more successful performing the new skill, we should decrease the prompt level from most to least until the learner is completing the behavior independently following the delivery of an instruction. Likewise, if the learner is struggling to show competency at a certain prompt level, we can increase the amount of assistance we're providing by moving them from a less intrusive to a more intrusive prompt. An example of this would be returning to a full physical prompt when the student is consistently unable to demonstrate proficiency using a light physical prompt. As the student becomes more successful, we can then shift our prompting back to a light physical prompt, continuing down the prompt hierarchy from most to least. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope all of you found this helpful. Bye-bye.